Hello U10, this is Mr. Ross here. I'm here to just talk to you a bit about the course of modern history, which is a subject which is offered on behalf of the HISI team here at Tomarine High School. So I'm just going to go through some information regarding this topic, talk about some of the things you'd learn about, and try and enlist you to pick the subject. So just like many other subjects, just like ancient history as well, modern history is actually a Category A course. So what that means is you'll be provided with 2 units towards your ATAR on completion of the subject. So again, very valuable course for students who are looking to boost their ATAR. But modern history, of course, is a very popular subject in that you get to learn about some very interesting things. So it can also be valuable to you in other ways as well. All right, so here's a bit of an overview of the entire course, so running from year 11 to 12. So you can see some of the words that really stand out to you about the idea of taking on challenges to understand the social, economic, political, moral transformations of the 18th century. So what modern history does allow you to do is to see the enormous changes, the challenges, and also the triumphs of the past 300 years of history. So in modern history, we basically start from around the Industrial Revolution and we go all the way to the present day in what we call the modern age. So that's where we get the name modern history. What sort of underpins the course though, and underpins that aspect of the course is a very strong use of sources, source material. So we're talking about things such as newspapers, we're talking about diary entries, we're talking about cartoons, but also other important evidence that we can use to understand modern history and understand the past. So here is a bit of a breakdown of the Year 11 course. So you can see there are 3 distinct aspects, and I'll just run through each one now for you. So you can see part 1 is called the nature of modern history, and also you have case studies. All right, and that's worth 50% of the course. So the nature of modern history is basically an introduction to the idea of modern history. So in 2020, students have been working through some of the concepts and ideas, the big ideas of modern history. They've looked at the construction of modern history, so how modern history has been constructed through the use of sources. And this year what we actually covered is we looked at the very controversial topic of Holocaust denial. So we know the Holocaust was a truly horrific aspect of World War II and also of modern history, but the controversial aspect of Holocaust denial will be covered, and we do a movie study, a film study on that as well. There is a film called Denial that we look at as part of that. And in terms of your case studies, the case studies that we look at are the American Civil War. So you might know a bit about the American Civil War, so looking at the ideas of slavery, also looking at the different aspects of US history at the time, and of course that that culminates in the 4-year war between the North and the South. So we'll look at that in detail. You'll also look at the Meiji Restoration. So the Meiji Restoration was a period in Japanese history that completely transformed Japan as a country and Japan as a nation and how it was seen around the world. And the big aspect that underpins that was the modernization of Japan. So that's a huge topic that really gives us a good base for topics later on in Year 12. For the historical investigation, this is very similar to the investigation you'll do in ancient history, in that it is quite a large assignment, and what you'll do is you will pick your own topic of your choosing from the modern age, and you'll write an essay on that. Okay, so you can see it's worth 20%. Again, very popular topic and popular subject because you get to pick the topic of your choosing, so it gives you a lot of freedom there. And then the last part, which would be completed in term 3 of Year 11, is the topic, the shaping of the modern world. And the topic that we choose for that is World War I. All right, so you think about that for a second. You think about the overall topic, the shaping of the modern world. What we'll actually cover is how World War I shaped the modern world that we live in today. So that might get you thinking a little bit about some of the things we'll cover. So here's Year 12. The Year 12 course, it sort of follows on from Year 11 quite a lot. There's a lot of links that you see from Year 11 to Year 12. So we have 4 different parts. So a bit like ancient history, you'll do a topic in each term. So you can see part 1 is your core study. So your core study is completed by everyone across the state, and that core topic is power and authority. Okay, so power and authority, we're talking about things like dictatorships. We're talking about Nazism in Germany, Adolf Hitler, Benito Mussolini, these sorts of individuals. And we'll do a very close study of those individuals to understand the whole idea of power and authority in the modern world. Now, part 2 is the national study. So a national study sort of goes on the back of the American Civil War and the development of the United States of America. We remain in the United States of America, and the part that we're looking at is the United States of America during the period of 1919 to 1941. So during that time, we know we had World War I, which happened 1914 to 1918. So we see the United States announce itself as a superpower in the world. We see the Great Depression era, and then of course we go into the beginnings of World War II. Part 3 is peace and conflict. So peace and conflict is another topic geared around World War II, and we'll look at conflict in the Pacific region. So of course, again, we're still talking about the United States, Pearl Harbor, talking about Japan, but also Australia. All right, so World War II and it's and the different things that occurred in the Pacific area and the implications on those countries. And then the final topic is change in the modern world. So again, we have that link to the American Civil War and slavery. And we also see a bit of a link to your Year 10 history study on African American people. So we know that in Year 10, you've been doing quite a lot of study on African American people after the Civil War, but also we look at the beginning of the Civil Rights Movement, and that is the major topic that we look at. We'll be looking at civil rights in the United States of America. So we're talking about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, huge topics surrounding that, segregation, Jim Crow laws. So it'll be part 4 in your U12 course. So you can see some of the careers that you can have in as a result of doing modern history. Some of the careers that you could take on include things in regards to journalism, but also going into teaching, even business. But one of the major aspects of modern history is that it gives you a really, really good idea about how the modern world has been shaped, and I believe it helps you become a much better citizen of Australia. So we hope to see you in modern history classes soon.